Hello, there are sources of Judge Napolitano in Fox News involved also with the FBI, with a bunch of people that went to campuses I went that have been putting predicate acts with facts on campuses and then acting on my street in sequence shifts tied to it, covering up what actually is recorded tied to that and confessed tied to that. In other words, further years apart, child abuse was leaders the kids first forced, and the kids abused by that years ago had roles of the one more closely involved. And they have falsified police reports with some Mendez police recorded, confessed, demonstrated, confirmed. I never had a conversation with them. That's one of the ways. One of the older police brothers and his younger brother have some sexual and medical offenders at New Britain Superior Court and next to Fox Connecticut News in Hartford Hospital and at Wethersfield at Hartford people next to Harvard Hospital too involved with the Mendez brothers with sexual and medical offenders of kids, fake transcripts, fake ties to people, identity theft, fraud, slanders, and their delusions raw. They attached me to fake conversations with one of those Mendez, the older Mendez police brother reportedly. I never had a conversation, a word of him, a conversation with him in my life. He's recorded, confessed, demonstrated, confirmed roles planting falsified police reports with a Bob Chase and a Phil Kalol for a Bob Chase. And further demonstrations of him still involved with that. Phil Kalol is further involved with predicate acts on my street with some sexual and medical offenders and people with credible threats against me. And then in other words, we have to counter that. And the only way to counter it is by doing it on paper properly, without violence. We have people pretending to be about violence, need to cover up sequence shifts, doing sick, fake punk tricks. But they have other people doing the threat. I don't know his name. Then the kids swerving the bike the next time I'm out there. They're timing when I'm going to. Once they do this through every year since before the World Trade Center attack and since, they have collusions. The same ones. I recorded this various ways. Facebook has roles with them. So these are Judge Napolitano sources with Fox Connecticut News and names next to them, like former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, has a Thaddeus Grabowski as one of his co-defendants in a 2006 district court case. Right before that, and through time, Thaddeus Grabowski and his co-defendants and their family members have collusions with a bunch of people next to Fox Connecticut News. Mike Kerr and a Joe DeMauro recorded, confessed, demonstrated, confirmed they have roles with their educators along Elm Streets in Wethersfield and Rocky Hill, and other conjunctions to the state judicial branch offices like Route 3 has something to do with their sequence shifts, identity theft, fraud, slanders, and leaking their roles with all these different countries and pretending other with the judges and courts, switching names, forging names, putting fake things in their databases. The Brit Spirit Court also has Eric Mendez involved with sexual and medical offenders of kids with these Mendez police intercities, involved with the police departments, plural, and with the courts with the same House/S in there, increasingly involved with wire crimes of the police and police that attached me to fake conversations with them that weren't at all at the police station as a kid, and now as an adult too. In other words, as an adult, at least I went down there. In other words, I had one word of conversation with the older police brother or any other cop there. These are increasingly people with Saudi attackers forcing them to collusions with one's name, Scalora, also next to the World Trade Center, and people with the name Keene, involved with body dumping spots, per their neighbors too, and people with the state judicial branch offices increasingly involved with planting evidences with them on Two Route Highway and where it runs into Hang Dog Lane, with the people with the judicial branch offices, also with the corrections offices involved with the World Trade Center attack, Connecticut's corrections offices. These are also increasingly people involved with the Washington, D.C., the wrong ways. So you need to get them on paper, please. Judge Napolitano, do what's right for them. Do what's right for your sources in Fox Connecticut News and Facebook. Get them on paper and YouTube. Don't be influenced by these agencies. They're faking and changing things. They need to hide live aggressions. They need to prevent paper because they've been putting fake things in databases since I was a kid and since everyone was a kid. Since before they were alive, this was being done. Boxing is fun. One way, many pray. These are people also next to boxing gyms involved with planting evidences where the crimes they have crime methods, the courts and the judicial branch offices and their family members. They have crime methods recorded in the FBI.
Right.